Come on. Hello, everybody. I'm just getting my messages set up. And then we'll be getting started. I hope everybody can hear me. I just now put my headphones on, guys. Monty! All right, good deal. Thank you, Monty. All right, we're going to be on Calm Lands. I don't think I even installed a new mod today. I did look through them a little while earlier. I don't remember installing any of them, but I could have. That is probably true, Dee Dee. How are you this evening? All right, here we go. Calm Lands. So we're going to put in a sunflower field. There we go. I keep hoping they'll do an update that fixes that glitch right at the very beginning. But it's not as bad as it was, so the last update must have addressed it to some extent. Okay, so we're going to put in a sunflower field. Which tractor do I actually want to use? I don't even know at the moment. I don't know if I want to use that one or if I want to, I think maybe I want to use this one over here. Do we have a weight on the front? Yeah, we got the one that came with the map. So where are we at? $203,000. Ooh. Almost forgot to get the plow. I'm already tired, guys. I have had a super long day. I've been up for 18 hours already. Where's oh, I put my plow over here, didn't I? I gotta remember where I put stuff. There it is. I went to the doctor today. My first doctor appointment in 8 years, and she put me on some heart medication. And I think I'm actually feeling the effects of that, because she told me that for about the first 3 days, it's going to cause me to feel very, very tired. But it is meant to regulate my heartbeat. and it is supposed, after the first 2 or 3 days and my body starts kind of adjusting to it, it's actually supposed to, it should start giving me more energy and helping me feel less fatigued and stuff like that. So that'll be good. All right, so let's start about right here. Oh, I hope it does too. Thank you, Dee Dee. I need to look at this on a map. I really don't know how big I want to make this field. I wouldn't mind taking all this area right in here. Maybe we should go the other way. Let's back out for a second. Uh, well, that might be some good advice from your doctor. Let's don't go too big with this field for right now. I'm going to save the rest of this area. What we'll do, look guys, we'll do this. We'll kind of come in here. We'll just put a field like right in here. We'll leave this area over here undone so we can expand it if we want to. But I need to buy this down here. Oh, do I own this? No, it doesn't look like I do. Oh, how much is that? 173. I don't really have enough to buy that yet. Okay, so let's do this. We're going to allow create fields. Whoops. And we're going to do this. We're just going to start right here. And I'll kind of look at the map. And we'll kind of run along where the border is, but you guys know me. I'm not all about straight lines on this map. And we'll come back and do something different if we need to. Look how steep this hill is. Wow. It's steeper than it was, I believe, in the FS22. Easy, easy, easy. Now let's look on the map. I think that's going to be okay like that for now. Like I said, if we need to expand it, we will. But one thing to remember, let's leave it sit right there for a second. Let's run over here for a second because we have to bear this in mind. Where's our yeah, we got to go over here. I got a little bit turned around. We got to remember that our oil mill is rather small. You see, we can only hold 9,600 liters of canola or sunflowers. So we're not going to need a big sunflower field to keep this full. So Of course, we do want a field that is big enough that it produces enough grain to keep the oil mill full and have extra, so we can start building a surplus in our silo. And I'm actually thinking it might be kind of fun to get a couple of trailers like we have on Riverbend Springs and use them as silos. Hey, Richard. Hey, I'm doing good. How are you doing? Oh, okay. We are putting in a sunflower field. It's not a big one. We don't need a big one. We're just going to put it right here. We only need it to really produce about 10,000 liters of grain. It would be nice if we get 12 to 15. If we need to, we'll make it a little bit bigger because we do want a surplus. And we need 9,600 liters for our oil mill. Same as the canola. I don't know if we'll get that much. We'll see what happens. I'm playing Calmlands totally different than what I've ever wanted to do with it before because I don't have the right silos. I noticed right before I got on here that I saw a stream that you were doing. Or maybe it had just ended. I noticed it was like nighttime on your pond. Yeah. Okay, you're playing on Alma, Missouri, Richard. Good. Now, I don't know how long we're going to stay on tonight, guys. Like I said, I'm already pretty tired. And I can tell that medication is already... It's already... Maybe it might be the medication part of it that's already starting. Because they told me it's going to make me feel tired. For the next 2 or 3 days. Whoops. This is quite the hill right here. Now, it did have an uphill slope on it in FS22, but I don't think it was this much. I think it has increased. Or best I can remember, it has increased. It might be close, I don't know. It just seems like it's farther, more uphill than it used to be. It's a little steeper. Now let me hop out for a second. 50% fertilized, yeah. So the grass, when we plow up grass, we get 50%. So we don't have to do the fertilizing, which is nice. We get to skip a step the first time we do these fields. Actually, this field may not end up being big enough. It's going to be very interesting to find out. I'm thinking it might be a little bit small. We've got to get some soybeans planted someplace. But I've got to buy a planter before I can do that. So I think what I'm going to have to do, I may have to take out a loan just so I can buy the adjoining land right there. So I can actually make this field a little bit bigger and put in another field for soybeans. I may have to take out a loan. I don't want to, but I think I'm going to have to. I need some soybeans so I can use it just as a cash crop. But maybe I can wait until I think we'll wait just a little bit. Actually, I probably could go ahead and buy that field because if you guys noticed, one thing I did not do, I forgot to, was sleep at the very beginning. So, we're already into the afternoon time of the previous live stream, the days or the month that we were playing on the previous live stream. I forgot to advance it before we started. And I usually do that. I will usually sleep first. That's usually the first thing I do is sleep. And I forgot to. But we're making $50,000 a month. So I think we'd be okay. We could buy that field. Or not the field, but that plot of land. And we can put us in another field, a soybean field. We'll see how I feel after we get this one planted, but we might do that. Oh, good. I mean, well, there's no point in playing it if you're not, quite frankly. I would play on a map that I didn't like playing on, so I'm glad you're having a lot of fun on it, because that's what it's all about. All right, so we've got that field. I think what I'll do well, I'm just going to take it back up here. I was going to leave that plow sit down here because I have a kind of a plan. Just depends on how I feel. We get that other field planted there. We're going to plant some sunflowers. So we don't need to fertilize. All we need to do now is just go plant. So I think we might be able to do another field. We're able to skip a couple of steps, or a step. Now, one thing we need to do, oh, you know what? I cannot plant sunflowers. Oh, I totally forgot. I can't even plant sunflowers. But I can. Here's what we got to do, guys. We are going to have to break down and spend some money. So we may... All right, let me see here. Let's find what we need. We got to do first things first. Where's my cedars? I always have to hunt for stuff. There they are. I need a planter. And I want... Which planter was it? This one. This one. We want this planter. Wheel setup. Well, we don't even have an option. What kind of brand? Oh, Trello board. I always like Trello board. Nice big heavy tread on it. I like that. It looks cool. And then what do we have? Rim color. That's all we can change. Well, I'm going to leave it black, since how the only thing we can change is the rim color. So we're going to leave this like this, of course, $45,000. I hope so. We're going to find out because we need it anyway. And as soon as I sleep, we're going to make $50,000. This will be covered. So let's buy it. And we're going to hope for the best as far as being able to pull it, Monty. I sure hope we can. That's a very good point. If I can't pull it up this hill, I will take out a loan and go buy a large Valtra tractor and set it up the way I like it. Whoa! I keep forgetting I put that thing right at the hill, bottom of the hill, and I can't see. I gotta turn my air conditioner on, guys. Hold on. I'm sitting here sweating. I won't be able to leave that on for long. Yeah, John Deere is... We'll keep our original tractors, but they will not be updated. Now we can come back out here. We'll take the road around. Yeah, that's my favorite tractor. Always has been on here, so... I wanted to be able to avoid any overhanging trees, but we pretty much did all the way up to this point. So that's okay. What did that say? Folding is not allowed while this tool is attached to this attacher joint. Oh. Well, that's weird. What's it supposed to be attached to? And one thing I'm going to do, because I noticed it, we're going to change that to sunflowers. So I don't forget to do that. Let's see, what can we do? Can we just cut down this way? I think we'll just cut down this way. We'll go see how our chickens are doing. I need to use the landscaping tool and put me a road that goes up, but I want to make sure that I have my sunflower field at the size that's going to work for us. Well, I mean, we could always put in more than one sunflower field, but let's see, am I going to have room to get this through there? I hope so. Whoa. We have to come up here and fill this up with seed and fertilizer. Whoa, I was afraid I'd hit that. I gotta come in here and I'm gonna have to sell that black tower, try to fix the landscaping, and then buy it back again. That's the only thing I can do. Okay, it's gonna let us work. We want fertilizer. Yep. Funny. It's dumping it way over there. Now, what else do we want? We want seeds, right? Well, now, wait a minute. I'm supposed to have seed and fertilizer. Where's my seed at? Oh no, now all I have is fertilizer. Alright, I gotta look at something, guys, sorry. Yeah, see, that's supposed to hold seed and fertilizer. Why is it not letting me add fertilizer? Oh, there we go. Nope, all it's letting me run is seeds. Why do I not have, It even tells me, oh, I need to fill the tool. But I don't know how. I did. Oh, there it is. I saw it come open. Alright. I saw that tank come open. Not that one, the one on the back. That little lid came open. I saw it. I just don't know. There it is. Oh, come on, stay open. Boy, it's a very narrow trigger for that. Oh my goodness, what's going on? It wasn't this difficult before when I used it. Oh, there it is. Stop. Oh, for crying out loud. Stop. It's still not going to let me... Oh yeah, seeds. There we go. Whew, finally. Okay. Wow. That was very tricky. Very touchy. Gotta remember. There we go. That's better. I'm just going to pull out here, hire a helper, and let him go do his thing. See how it works out. So we'll get this field planted, and then we will sleep for a day and see how much money we have. I'm hoping this tractor actually can pull this thing up this hill. Now we're going to find out, because it's going to be going directly up the hill too, isn't it? Yeah, it's going to be going right up the hill here. Well, now what's it doing? No, it's going to work the other way. So that might not be too bad. Because at least he's going to be working in the direction of the slope. He's not going to be working uphill. So that's nice. We may not have to buy another tractor right now. I really don't want to, because that's $300,000. Like I said, I could take out a loan, but I'm hoping to avoid that. And just to let you guys know, now there is a real good possibility I will not stream on Wednesday, just because I won't feel good. I already know that in advance. But we'll see. If that's the case, I will, I'll put a message on the community page so everybody knows. But maybe that new medication will not affect me like it, I guess it affects like the average user. But I don't know why I would be different than other people, so as far as that goes. I'd say by tomorrow night I'm going to feel pretty tired from the medication. She said it'll take 2 or 3 days to get used to it. I do too, Monty. Thank you. I am hoping that I feel okay. If I don't, I know it's just the medication. It's got my blood pressure drop down. But then it's gonna switch, and it will. After about 3 days, my body gets used to that medication. Then my blood pressure will come back up. And she told me I should start feeling more energy, less fatigued. My heart should be more stable. It was kind of funny because she was talking to me about my arrhythmia, and she was asking me if I could feel it and all that stuff. When, can you feel it beating hard and palpitating? And I'm like, yeah, I can feel it while I'm sitting here. I said, all you got to do is take one of your little machines and hook it up to me, and you just got to run it for 10 seconds. You'll know I have an arrhythmia. She said, well, let me just listen with my stethoscope for a second. She put that thing on my chest, listened for about 10 seconds, and said, sure enough. So they want to do, have any of you ever heard of a Holter monitor? Because she wants me to do one of those also. Oh, I do too. She told me she wanted me to do this monitor thing, and I said, what, the Holter monitor? And she said, yeah. I told her, nope, I'm not doing it. I said, because what am I supposed to do? This never stops. Am I supposed to just sit? I did it before. I did one before when I lived in Hawaii, and you had to push the little button, and you're supposed to write down what you were feeling when at the time you pushed the button. And I told her, am I supposed to push the button every 5 seconds? But she told me those things that today those Halter monitors are different, and it's all done electronically, so you don't have to push the button and write down what was happening. Because I told her I wasn't doing that because I would just be doing it constantly. So eventually I'm going to have to go to Kentucky. I don't live in Kentucky, but I'm going to have to go to Kentucky to some specialists like a cardiologist and stuff like. Yeah, I told her I'm okay with doing the Holter monitor, with it being an updated version where I don't have to write the stuff down because it would be impossible. So at some point I'll end up doing the Holter monitor again. But I've got to figure out the transportation part because my medical insurance comes with transportation. But I've got to figure that part out so I can figure out how to schedule it and stuff like that. And then I'll let the doctor's office know that I've got that stuff figured out and they can schedule me other appointments. She did a bunch of blood work too. Because I also have been diagnosed with chronic kidney disease. So she did blood work so she can see where we're at with that. And I'm pre-diabetic, so she's going to see where I'm at with that. So, and did a bunch of blood work today, so. Or technically, yesterday. Well, Monty, I do appreciate that. My daughter Casey and Stephen. Casey and Stephen took me. And Casey's mom went for a ride because she needed to see the doctor too. Yeah, I've got a lot of stuff going on, Dee Dee. I actually do have a lot of health issues, but I don't complain, so people aren't really aware of it. I'm trying to talk to the nurses and the doctor, and I was forgetting stuff that bother me, my shoulder, my knees, and stuff like that. And all kinds of stuff that I have had treatment for in the past, but I kept forgetting, so then I would tell one of the nurses, oh, I forgot to tell her about this. Oh, I forgot to tell her about that. And they're like, you got a lot going on. I said, yeah, I got a lot going on, but I don't complain about it. So I forget when I try to talk to somebody about it because it's not something I ever talk about. I just deal with it. I see what looks like I want to go look at something right quick. I saw this mark right here. Is that a spot that it missed? Oh, it's just a tire track. Okay. I wasn't sure what that mark was. Oh. You heard it with your bad ear? Yeah, I got you, Dee Dee. See, it's not taking us very long to be able to get this field planted. Well, now, you're the only one I have ever heard or seen use that phrase in this particular case. since I can't hear your text. But I have never heard any, or I've never known anybody else to use that phrase. That's true. It's like the phrase, "I see," said the blind man to his deaf wife. Okay, Monty. Well, I like that phrase. So you may no longer be the only one using it. Yeah, I get that. So I may be using it. Now we're going to see if this tractor can pull this hill. I am hoping it can, because I'm really not wanting to buy a Vultra just yet. But if we need to, we will. If this guy struggles, but we'll see what happens here. This will be the test because he's going to be going up the hill, but it's not too bad. We're at 7 miles an hour. Yeah, that's CB terminology that I have used many, many times, both as a kid with a CB radio in my car and as a truck driver. Okay, this guy did not struggle too much to go up that hill. So I don't think I need to buy a Vultra just yet. Now I'm going to reserve all the way over to that road 4 sunflowers. I want to leave us room to expand this field if we need to. We'll see. We can always put something else over here if we don't need that space. But our next field is going to go on the other side of that little dirt road right there. Now, I'm not really understanding why I cannot fold this thing. I've always been able to fold them before, so I don't really know what's going on with that. Alright, one more time around the field and we'll have this one done. It's going to be very interesting to see what we actually yield off of this, though. It may not be enough. But that's why we're going to leave space over there to expand this field. Yeah, we'll find out the first time we harvest it. We're going to know where we're at. Now, one thing about like that oil mill and the grain mill, I knew the grain mill because I had bought, after I bought it and looked at it, I knew it held 126,000 liters, which is more canola than what the grain mill on Riverbend Springs holds. So I thought the oil mill would be the same way, and it's not. It holds a lot less. So, but I was anticipating that it was going to hold more, like the grain mill. So we are going to have to keep an eye on it more closely than the grain mill, I think. This is like the chickens, so you just got to stay on top of it. The oil mill will be. Well, this tractor worked this field pretty good. I'm kind of okay with it. Even though we will end up upgrading to Valtras. But this guy could this tractor right here could probably pull this planter. I can just leave it assigned to this planter eventually. Or I'll sell it and buy another Valtra. I don't mind having a mixed match of tractors. I kind of like keeping the original equipment that the game gave me. Uh-oh, what happened? Why did it skip that spot? And will it go back to that spot? I want to see if it's going to go back to that spot on its own, guys. So we're going to have to just let it take its time and do this little spot right here too. Nope. It did not go back. Interesting. I wonder why. Why did it skip this spot? Let's see if we go at a little bit different direction, if we'll catch that. Yep, good deal. Turn it off. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I am going to just take this right over here. Let's go up this way. Just for a second. Now, let's do this. Let's save the game. Since we completed that stage. Now, I want to put a field more over this way, maybe even more down here somewhere. All this over here is going to be maybe like cover. If I need to expand it, we're just going to expand it over into this area. So I've got this area over here that I can put a field in up here of soybeans right in here. Not real big because I cannot get into this area. So let's do this. I want to leave this sit right there for now. Let me see. Yeah, we can take this. Let's take this tractor. I have to have some landmarks, guys. So we're going to bring this over here. We're just going to use it as a boundary marker. Now, let's see how we want to do this. I want to make the map a little bit bigger. I don't want... If I buy this, do I want to put the... Okay, Monty. Let's see. Do I want to put this over here? Or do I want to put it down here? Well, we've got to buy this right here. So let's do this. Let's do this. Let's go back up here. We'll jump in our truck. And now we want to go sleep for a day. Well, now see, we only made 24,000 this time. Why did we not make 50,000? That's interesting. So I probably will have to take out a loan if I'm going to buy this other field. Yeah, I just saved the game, Monty. Just saved it. But yeah, I better go. I'll save it again because we just changed to a new month. So we will save it again just so we don't have to sleep again. But I did save it once we got that other field done. Now I'm going to take my truck. We'll bring it back when we're done with it, but we're going to use it. Whoa, nice. Bounced off the building. Wow. I think maybe we should put this over on this side. I don't know how much space I might need for expanding that field if we have to do it. I used to put two fields on this side right here though. But I'm gonna reserve that side over there. But we won't need all that space. We'll find something to do with it, but so let's go over here. I have to see kind of where the boundary is if I'm going to I'm going to go over here by the corner of the road where the boundary is. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Let me go figure out my that tractor down there. I think I need to reposition it just a little bit. Something about like that. Okay, I'm okay with that for right now. Let's see what happens. We'll leave our planter sit right here. We got to go get our plow. And I'm going to use this tractor. I'm just using that tractor and our truck up here, guys, as a boundary marker. I still got to fix that bump right there, guys. I keep saying that, but I haven't got it done yet. Because I go around it. But I should fix it. But it's not, I don't know that it's absolutely critical. Whoops. See if we can not hit the building this time. There we go. That's better. I'm going to start from up here. About like right here. Allow create fields. And here we go. Let's make us another field, guys. Now, I don't want to get too close to this field over here. I want to leave a little bit of room. And then as long as we stay inside of this, we know we're on our own property. I will end up expanding this field because I don't like these straight edges on this map. So, but for now, it's okay. When I buy that next piece of land down there, we'll expand this. Beautiful. Okay. Now you probably saw me change that to limit to fields. I just wanted to make sure I didn't mess up over here on the outside and kept everything on the inside. So now we're good. Oh, making sure you're staying on your own land. Ever since I first started playing, I take my vehicles out, park them out there, and just get me a perimeter lined out where I can follow it. So if I would have had to go get like like our cedar and bring down whatever I had to do, I could have used our planter over here also as a boundary marker. I always use my equipment. My harvesters, whatever headers, and just make me a perimeter, and then I just work with inside that perimeter as far as doing my outline. But we will definitely be expanding this field. This is going to be our soybean field. But I don't like straight edges on this map, so I need to be able to round this off. So really, if we look at it, see, I don't like this. I don't like the way that looks on this map. You see, I don't have straight lines. So I want to actually be able to bring this up this way some, and then round it off. So I actually going to have to buy this and this to be able to do it properly. But we could start off just bringing it. We could actually bring this on down around this way if we wanted to. Once I buy this, and then bring it right back up into that corner, might be possible. So once we get this field, then we'll expand this out this way. Do something with it. I want this field to be kind of big because it's a cash field. Right now we're using canola for cash, and we can. It works well for cash. Also, so do sunflowers. You can You can use sunflowers as a cash crop also. But I like using soybeans. Yes. Yeah, I watched a farmer cop video that was talking about like what crop is the best cash crop, and it was like soybeans, canola, and sunflowers. But we need we're going to be saving our canola for the oil mill, but some of it we can sell. We just need to make sure we keep enough to actually keep the oil mill running, which should not be too difficult. And the canola field that we have is plenty big enough. But I would like to save up to where, I wouldn't mind having like 1,000,000 liters of canola that I could sell. Well, not maybe 1,000,000 liters. That would be quite a bit. But maybe like at least 200,000 or 300,000, a couple of 100,000, a full trailer, 200,000 would be nice. So we could sell all at one time. Just see how much we can maximize the payment on one trailer load. But that's why it might be kind of fun to do the same thing we've done on Riverbend Springs, and use those TARDIS trailers, the Lizard TARDIS trailers, as silos. I am thinking about doing that. That would be pretty cool. Can you imagine taking a trailer with 5 million liters of canola, for example, and going and selling that? How much money would you make on that? I think it would be awesome. My goal for Calm Lands was always to fill the grain elevator. They don't have the silos that they had in FS22, the modded ones, that my favorite silos, because they held 50 million liters. So if you used a silo and a silo extension, then you had a space for 100 million liters of grain. And it was always my goal to be able to fill the silo and the extension. 100 million liters of grain. But we don't have those silos now, so I can't do that. So maybe I can do something else that's still going to be like a pretty good target to reach, you know. 5 million liters of canola is nothing to laugh at. 5 million liters of sunflowers will be nothing to laugh at. So the more I think about it, the more I think I am going to do that. I'm going to use those lizard TARDIS trailers as silos, just like on Riverbend Springs. And then that will be one of our goals on here. The other goal is to make cake, which means cows, milk, all that. But all of it has to be done at the right timing and stuff like that. But our goal is to make cake. And lots of money. Because we have a lot of land we got to buy. I've never owned every property on this map. I've owned a lot of it, but I've never played it long enough to own all of it and be farming it. Oh, I'll show you. Well, wait. I'll show you after. Once I get the helper planting our soybeans, I'll show you something on the map. Yes, Monty, we are going to make it. That's one of the goals for this map. It's going to be because I can't do my other goal. So making cake is going to be, but Monty, making cake on Riverbend Springs is not going to happen. We're going to do it here, okay? Okay. We're going to have we're going to play two maps. We got to make them different. So that's our goal, cake. All right, so let's get our equipment back up to the farm. We'll get this guy starting planting. Now, I used to put, on this map, I used to put a gas pump, a diesel fuel pump right here, but now they've got this, they've made it a little more hilly. I don't even know if it would work right here in the same place where I have put it before. And I don't have that mod yet either. Ooh, I almost hit that again. Soybeans, here we go. And we'll just pull out here, hire a helper, and let it start doing its thing. We'll get our equipment back up to the yard. And then I want to show you guys something on the map. I think we have a step on where we can enter on both sides. Now, I do not know, with the way the helpers work a little bit different. You used to have to be really careful about having your fields too close together, because if, for example, the guy with the plow, and you know, they work differently than they do now too, so, but they would come to the edge of the field, pull in a plow, and if the front of that tractor crossed over and hit the next field before the plow got out of that field, it would think it's supposed to continue, and it would drive right over here and start plowing this field up. And I had that happen so many times, and I would be off watching, doing something else, and they'd destroy my field. So you got to be careful about putting them too close together. I don't think that's the case on, yeah, tell me, I've had that happen so many times. I don't think it'll happen in FS25 because they do the interior of the field first, and then they actually do the headland rows. But that's not how it worked on FS22, so it was very dangerous. Oh, they messed me up so many times. I have to remember, when I do buy a Valtra tractor, I do not need to wait for it. We already have one. We'll just park like right there. I need to get my truck. That truck goes really fast. There, we can leave it sit just like that. Now, while this guy is working, I want to show you guys something on the map. I owned this up here before. This whole field, all this area right here was a potato field. I did the whole thing in potatoes, and it took me 6 hours from the start of harvest to the finish of planting. And that's with everybody working in this field up here at the same time. 6 hours to do potatoes. in this area. And we may do that again. But I wanted to show you guys that, because that's one of the biggest fields I've had up here. I had another big field down here. Let's see, where was it? Let me pull back. Yeah, right in here. Was it in here? Yeah, I had another big field over in this area, but this one took me the longest, 6 hours. But I did it. I had another big potato field right down here. This was the first big potato field I did, and it took about 4 hours. But I owned this. I owned all this section, all this section, all this section, all this section, and part of this section. I never have been able to get far enough down here, and I own some of this, not all of it, but some of it up here. Yeah, we usually just call them taters or spuds. That's one of my daughter's nicknames, by the way, Tater. I have a tater, a mouse, a turtle, and a squirt, and a Bubba. 5 kids. See, this field is not really all that big, because he's almost finished. But we're going to make this field quite a bit bigger. I have 9 grandchildren. And the only one of my grandchildren that I gave a nickname to is my youngest granddaughter, and I call her Junior. Because she has the same middle name as me. So I decided I was calling her Junior. Junior. I actually nicknamed her Junior before she was even born. And she's so funny. When I first started calling her Junior and stuff like that, when she was 2 years old. Well, I mean, I called her Junior before, like I said, before she was even born. I always referred to her as Junior. But when she was old enough to start talking and stuff like that, when I would call her Junior, she'd be like, "I'm not Junior, I'm Emma." I was like, "Yeah, you're Emma. You're also Lulu, because your mom calls you Lulu." And I can't remember what her dad's nickname was for her, and I said, "I call you Junior, so you're all kinds of people." I actually have a video of her third birthday party, and it's my most viewed video to date. All right, now see, okay, he's going to catch that spot. I was going to say, is he just going to skip a spot? Yeah, she used to crack me up. She'd be like, I'm not Junior, I'm Emma. But then she got where she realized she was Junior. I'll be like, get used to it, kid. Oh, wow. That, you know, that's kind of funny that you mentioned that, Dee Dee, because my grandson, I have a couple of videos that I made with my grandson when he got off the school bus, and I just had him out in the yard playing with him. That boy, he would want to watch the video of himself over and over and over and over. Yeah, he'd all the time come to my room. Papa, can we watch that video? He said, can we watch your video? I mean, the one about you? Yes. And I found this movie on TV. This is funny. At Christmas time, there's this movie. It's like about 30 minutes long. It's called The Snowman. And then there's one called The Snowman and the Snow Dog. But the first one we discovered, this was when I was babysitting my children, because they're my grandchildren, because their mother and father were both working at the same time. So I was their babysitter. And we come across this movie called The Snowman. Oh my goodness, my granddaughter fell in love with it. And she wanted to watch that thing over and over and over and over. It's still her favorite movie. I mean, it's kind of cute the first time you watch it as an adult, and then you've seen it already. But it was funny. She wanted to watch it again and again and again. And she'd come sit right beside me on the couch. She'd say, Papa, Snowman. Oh, let me tell you, when my three youngest daughters were small, we watched a lot of Walt Disney movies, the cartoon movies, you know, Beauty and the Beast and all that stuff, Peter Pan, all those movies. I had about 30 of them, and They would pick one, they would watch it on a VHS tape, they would watch it, rewind it, watch it, rewind it, watch it, rewind it. I was like, y'all are killing me. I was pretty strict parent with my kids. Loving and fair, but very strict. One of the most strict and hardcore parents. Most of my friends would tell me that. They'd say, I don't know how you do it. I'd say, how I do what? And they'd say, you're the most strict parent I've ever met. Yet you never raise your hand, you never raise your voice. I don't know how you do it. All right, last trip around the field. Yeah, see, it's a small field. Will not make us a whole lot of money, but it'll make us some money to get started with. I usually put in pretty big fields on this map, but since our goals are a little bit different this time, we're going to try to kind of just do what we need to do. We'll see what we need to do. We'll put in small, we'll start with small, leave space to expand. But I do think we'll end up doing potatoes up at the top again. I kind of like that. That was pretty cool. It was a long... It took a long time to get it done, but it was still fun. But it'll make for some long live streams, especially once I start feeling better, hopefully. This is getting done faster because we don't have to fertilize and stuff like that. Although the first layer of fertilizer goes fairly quickly. Now, on this map, guys, I have to have this thing right here. But remember, we are going to be switching over to liquid fertilizer. And the second layer of fertilizer will not go on until after the first growth stage. So we're going to be buying new equipment for the fertilizing part, but not yet. Because the fertilizer spreader that we want is $420,000. But then we won't have to plow or cultivate. We will plow ever so often to simulate the periodic plowing setting that I have turned off. That might be something I talk to the doctor about at some point. I did not talk to her about that today. I didn't even think about anything like that. There's some other stuff I need to talk to her about that I forgot, that I didn't bring up. Like I said, I have a lot of issues, but I don't complain about it. So when it comes time to talk about, I don't think about those things. I forget about it. I did talk to her about several things. They did ask me if I was taking any kind of supplements, and I told them no. But that was the nurses, just when they were doing my intake, not the doctor. And I had a goal when I was in Hawaii because they eat what is called sticky rice. It's not like Minute Maid rice or something like that that we get that does not stick together. They eat what is called sticky rice. And let me tell you, sticky rice is very fattening. I got to looking at that menu up there, and there we go. I couldn't tell if I had that thing turned off or not, the seeder or the planter. They gave me injections for my back also today, or yesterday at the doctor's office. 3 injections. One was cortisone, and I'm not really sure what the other ones were. I can't remember. She told me what they were for pain. Oh, I hope it does too, because I ruptured 3 discs in my back 39 years ago. So I spent the last 39 years in pain. I wish I could fold this thing. Why would it not let me fold this thing? I don't understand that. Let's park this over here like this. We'll just park it right on the edge like this. There we go. I don't know why I have that shed over there really, other than to put hay in. I've never been one to keep equipment in a shed. Well, I take that back. On FS19 when I was playing that, I did get in the habit of putting everything back in a shed where it belonged. In fact, a closed garage with working garage doors, that's what I used. But that modder never even brought those garages back to FS22. So I just don't use sheds for my equipment. I just leave them parked. It's not going to hurt nothing. But sometimes, because they're not in a shed and they're spread out, I forget where I put stuff. Like, sticking stuff like this. I'll forget that I put this over here. Okay, let's see. Let's look at the map. Here's what we got going so far, guys. That's not bad. I kind of messed up right here, though. Because I was thinking I wanted to bring this field on down this way some. I may have to bring it down into here. So we're going to have to be somewhat strategic. This field will have to come up this way, and this field, if we need to expand it too much, we can bring it down on this side, and this can come up here like this. So we're okay, but I was thinking I would be able to expand this field out a little bit, and I put this field in the way. but it'll work. It's okay. But I think it'll be fun to do potatoes up here again. I don't think that's going to hurt anything. Let's uh let's jump back in our truck for a second. And we'll just disconnect the trailer. We'll drive back over here for a minute. I want to also check. Now the harvester, I think will be okay because the harvester is going to be going this direction and not this direction. When we harvest, it always does the headland rows first, so it'll be traveling along the outside edge like this. So it's not going to get over in that other field. In FS22 it would, because it didn't work the same way like I was pointing out earlier. If you were working in this direction and that harvester was let me turn around because it looks kind of funny backwards. If the harvester was harvesting in this direction, moving back and forth in this direction like this, when it got over here, if the header would hit that field right there, but while the back of the harvester was still in this field, it would think it's supposed to just keep going. So it would just keep going. But it will not do that in FS25 because it doesn't do that. Well, with the helper it doesn't. It does the headland row first. So it's going to be always working in this direction when it comes down here. It's always going to be traveling in this direction. It's not going to get in that field. So we should be fine. So now, do we need to do something with chickens? Yeah, let's go ahead and we can feed them. They would live for another. They'd be okay for another month or two. I still have not been able to find my wheelbarrow. I want to know how much my wheelbarrow holds on grain because I thought it would be fun just to grab a wheelbarrow, fill it up, and take it down there, roll it down there. I think I can put stuff in here. Can I? Nope. Okay, I thought I saw something where this tailgate had opened, but it might be because I put the toolbox back there. Now I can't use it that way. I don't know. All right. We'll just have to grab some wheat and take down there. So we'll grab this tractor over here. Doesn't matter, we can grab either one. We'll just grab this one. See, you barely just have to hit the button. You don't really need much. You only need way less than that. I'll have to bring most of this back. I think I got to go right up to that tree. I need to check though. Yeah, I go right underneath the tree right there. I just wanted to double check. Okay, that angle is not going to work. Let me see, what angle do I need to work? This is very hard to do from this camera angle, because everything is kind of the opposite. Okay. Well, I've put grain in here a number of times already. I just don't remember the alignment that I had when I've done it. There, oh, there it was. I had it. There it is. Oh. Easy. There we go. See? No, it didn't fill it up, did it? Why did it not fill it up? Oh. Is it taking any grain out? Doesn't really look like it. I'm not sure what's happening there. Oh, you haven't. See, why is it not filling that up with food? It's not. That does not make sense to me. Huh. I'm really not sure what to do at the moment, because I don't know why it's not taking this wheat. What is the deal? What is going on? Why is it not letting me get this wheat in there? I don't understand. I've fed them several times already. I'm going to turn around this way. It's a little bit easier to drive. Actually, it's quite a bit easier to drive. See, it's not even taking any wheat. It won't take it. I don't understand why it's not actually taking it. It has every time before, I can't figure out what's going on here. Well, that's not where I wanted it. You can't even see because the tree blocks it. You know what I need? I need to get rid of that tree. I'm going to have to get that mulching thing and just get rid of that tree. I was hoping I didn't have to. I've been able to do this. I've been able to do this several times already. Well, not several, but a few times. I've been able to feed these chickens. I'm not understanding why I can't do it. It's very hard to back up when they got the camera in the wrong angle, but now I can't see the building. So that makes it very hard too. I wanted to try to get in right along the edge of that building and see if maybe it'll let me get in there. This thing has a very sensitive trigger on it. I can't get to it. See, I'm all the way up, as close as I can get. I'm up against that tree and it's just not enough. Oh, what am I hitting? Oh. Some sunflowers got in my way. So, I'm still going to have to move. I'm trying to look. Is that them sunflowers again? I think so. I think I still got to... But I should be past them now. Let me look. I don't know what's going on. I really don't. Now what am I hitting? There's a bench in the way. What's going on? Come on. It's ridiculous. I never had this much trouble trying to feed these chickens. I got to get rid of that tree. It's that simple. I have to get rid of that tree, but I'm not going to be able to do it today. I got to get one of those things, the mulcher. Now see, I'm at totally the wrong angle. Oh. Will it take it from this angle? It did. It took a couple. There it is, finally. All right. Look how much effort that took. I had to get way in there like that. Okay, well, at least we got it done. Wow. That was rough. I'm going to end up having to get rid of that tree just to make it a little easier. I didn't want to. I like tucking things in around trees and stuff like that, but I don't know. I don't know if I can keep doing that. Well, I can, but I don't know if I want to. All right, let's save it because we got the chickens fed. We're good to go there. All right, let's go back to the map now. So that's looking pretty good. It's going to look better like when I get rid of that straight edge on that field, because I don't like straight edges on this map. I think it looks cool having all these curves and everything. So that's where we're going to leave it for tonight, guys. And next time we'll be on Riverbend Springs. But I'm liking that so far. It's really going to look nice once we start getting all this stuff filled in over here. It's going to be really cool. All right, so that's going to do it for tonight, guys. Couple hours. Yep, good night, Monty. Thanks for coming and hanging out, man. Always a pleasure to have you with me. Dee Dee, thank you so much. Richard. Thank you very much, Richard. To those who are watching, who are not a part of chat, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed it. I had fun. And I think we got a nice farm going on. So we're in good shape. So, all right, guys. I will catch you in the next one. Until then, God bless. Well, we got cows. We just got to figure out how to do something with them. But we'll get more. I got a great big barn for them. So we're going to have lots of cows at some point. We just got to prepare for it. We got to take our time. We're going to do it right. Okay? And that's what we're going to do. And we're off to a good start. So guys, providing this medication doesn't mess me up too much, I will see you on Wednesday. All right, guys, that's going to do it. Until next time, God bless.